Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carrie and I've got a massive book haul for you. So I have my book of the month box, I've got my bookworm box, I have my reveal book box, and on top of that I have books that I purchased on Facebook. I've got books that I purchased on Thrift Books and half price books. It's a whole thing. Let's go ahead and get started. Before I get to my actual boxes, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the books that I purchased on Thrift Books and other places like that. And so if you have seen my vlogs here in the last month, then this may be a bit of a repeat for you. I did some unboxings live on my vlog, and but I need to go ahead and get these unboxed so I can go ahead and put them on my bookshelves. Let's go ahead and start with what I bought on Thrift Books. The first book I have to talk about is going to be He Will Be My Ruin. This is by K.A. Tucker. From what I hear, this is an actual psychological thriller. This is not a romance. It may have a romance in it, but K.A. Tucker is known for her romances. And I've heard that if you like Verity, you may like this one, so I went ahead and picked it up. The next book that I picked up on Thrift Books is Poughkeepsie. This is by Deborah Anastasia. And I loved her Mercy series. It's Mercy, Havoc, and then Lock, and I loved that trilogy so much, and so I really wanted to read something else by her. I found this on Thrift Books for like $6, which was super cheap. It's in very good condition, which I'm really excited about, so I'm happy to have this in my collection. The next book I picked up on Thrift Books is Sometimes I Lie. This is by Alice Feeney. I was actually supposed to receive a hardcover copy of this in like new condition, and for some reason they sent me an ARC cover in paperback. So this is like literally, this is an advanced reader's copy, which isn't supposed to be for sale, but they sent this to me instead, so I did get my money back for it. But I'm going to go ahead and read this first before I purchase the hardback. Might as well, because I have it. And if I don't like it, I can always just donate it. If I do like it, then I will probably get the actual hardback version. I like to have my psychological thrillers in hardback if I can. The next book that I got on Thrift Books is going to be Missing Presumed. This is by Susie Steiner. This, once again, is another psychological thriller book. This is, I believe, a detective book. And I've heard you either really like detective books or you really don't. So this is going to be one of those that I'm going to test out, but it sounds super interesting. Another book that I picked up on Thrift Books is The Wife Between Us. This is by Greer Hendricks. And I've heard really mixed reviews about this book. I'm actually really disappointed in this one because it was supposed to come in really good condition, and it obviously has marks on the front. This is not coming off. I tried. And then it's got all kinds of little scuff marks and issues with the corners of these books. This is, in my case, maybe acceptable condition, but it is certainly not in like new condition. It's got little marks where the pages have been kind of screwed up. I'm just really unhappy with this copy that I received. I didn't complain about it. It was only like $5 or $6. If I really like it, I'm going to go ahead and just try to get a book of the month edition, but I want to go ahead and read it first before I spend any more money on it. Continuing on my theme of disappointment with Thrift Books, I have two books. Now they look a lot better, but if you watched my vlog, you saw that as soon as they came in, these were library bindings. I was thankfully able to take off the library bindings for these covers, but it's still not great on one of them. This one looks okay, and I ended up not contacting them about it. I just said forget it, because I'm kind of tired of constantly contacting them, and I feel like they're going to start thinking that I'm just trying to get stuff for free, which I'm not. I just expect a certain quality in my books. So sorry if you hear the dogs barking in the background, by the way. But this one turned out okay, so I didn't contact him about it. This one, however, was also a library binding. You saw that in my last week's vlog, but I really am disappointed in this because whenever I was taking off the library binding, it kind of screwed up. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it really screwed up the actual page of this. It just doesn't look great. I didn't contact them once again on this one. I should have, though, because this is just, it kind of completely screwed up the actual book. The last book that I got on Thrift Books is going to be The Wives. This is by Taryn Fisher. I'm actually super excited about this one. It is a Book of the Month edition. This is no longer available on Book of the Month, so I'm really happy that I got this edition, and I got it for like $8, which isn't bad. Not great, but not bad. So I'm pretty happy with this, and it really is in very, very good condition. The next book that I picked up is actually from the Dollar Tree, and it is Tell Me You're Mine by Elizabeth Norback. And this is about a therapist whose daughter goes missing whenever she's like a baby. And it's now 20 years later, I think. And this girl walks in and she swears that it's her like long lost daughter. And she starts stalking this girl. Like, she's her therapist, but she apparently starts stalking her. It sounds really intense and really interesting. And then I did pick up one book from Half Price Books this month, and that was Lisa Gardner's Right Behind You. I think this is like book number 8 or something in the series, which maybe wasn't the smartest decision for me to pick up, but I got it on clearance for $3. It is in brand new shape, and I've been wanting to get into this series for quite a while. The covers look fascinating. This is another detective type of a series, so it's one that I definitely will need to read in order, but I am really curious to try it. All right, so looking at this box, you would completely believe that I got this from Book of the Month, but I did not. I actually ordered a whole bunch of Book of the Month books off of somebody on Facebook. I am in some buy, sell, trade groups on Facebook, and these are great ways. You have to be smart about it because there are scammers out there. But this is a great way to get books that you've been wanting at a decent price. There's so many Book of the Month books that I've been wanting to get a hold of, and you can only get 3 Book of the Month books per month. That's all you're allowed to get, and so there's so many that I want that I went ahead and picked up a couple of them. One gal was selling several of them that I wanted, and I got them, I think, for like $8 or $9 each. She did a bundle where if you buy multiple, then she went down in price. So I think it was like $8 a piece, which is not bad at all. And these are in the kind of shape that I expect books to be in. Like, this gal took care of her books like I take care of my books. So I got The Silent Patient. This is by Alex. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, y'all. Just not even going to do it. But I've heard great things about this. I've heard this is one of the absolute best psychological thrillers of all time. This is one of Gabby Reed's favorites, and I am so curious to jump into this one. This is going to be one I get into very, very soon. The next book I purchased from her is The Girl in the Mirror. This is by Rose Carlisle. I don't really know a lot about this one. This has a twin sisters, identical on the outside, dangerously different on the inside. So that got me intrigued, that alone. Some people, this one has a little bit of mixed reviews on Goodreads, but I really didn't care because I'm new to this genre. So any books that I get into, like, even if some of my favorite people rate it 3 and 4 stars, like, it really doesn't matter to me because I am so new to this genre that I really don't know my own taste yet in it. So I'm going to try it, and it's Book of the Month edition, and it's in like brand new shape. So I'm perfectly happy with this book. Next one that I got is The Wife Upstairs. This is by Rachel Hawkins. This one came out in December of 2020, and I have been wanting to read this. I love this cover. This looks super interesting. I loved Rachel Hawkins' books. I've read some of her, I think it's like paranormal romance books, YA books back in the day, but I haven't read anything from her in a long time, and I am really interested to read a psychological thriller from her. And the last book that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace is going to be The Night Swim. This is by Megan Golden, and I really know nothing about this other than the fact that it's a psychological thriller. I am definitely on a psychological thriller kick. I have read 3 of them this month, and I'm really, really fascinated with them. So picking up more and more. The next set of books I have to talk about are books that I actually did get at Book of the Month. So this is my Book of the Month for April. And the books that I chose, my add-on books, are going to be The Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. This is Don't really know a lot about it other than the fact that it is a psychological thriller. I really enjoyed Lisa Jewell's book, Then She Was Gone. It was written in third person point of view, which isn't always my favorite, but I know a lot of psychological thrillers are going to be written in that. So that's just something that I'm going to have to kind of get used to again. I got used to it with the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and it doesn't even faze me, but I'm so used to my romances being written in first point of view that it's going to take a little bit of time getting used to that. But definitely curious about this one. The next add-on that I got is The Lost Apothecary. This is by Sarah Pinner. First of all, this cover is one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen on a book. It is just absolutely stunning. But this one is it's a historical book, and it is about a person who worked at an apothecary, and basically she makes potions for women to kill their husbands. And the last book that I picked up for my book of the month is going to be Arsenic and Adobo. This is a brand new book. This was April's pick, and it just sounded so good that I had to get it. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into my romance books that I got, and the first one I'm going to start with is my Bookworm Box for the month. This is for the month of March, and the book that I got is Diamond in the Rough by Skye Warren. Of course, these books all do come signed, so I've got my Skye Warren signature, and it always comes with a really cute little bookmark. These are all matte, and I love these bookmarks. I swear, these are like my favorite bookmarks to use. This one says, I'm stepping off a 9-hour flight when it happens. A white van, a dark hood, every woman's worst nightmare. Now I'm trapped in an abandoned church. The man who took me says I won't be hurt. The man in the cell next to me says that's a lie. I'll fight with every ounce of strength, but there's one secret in these walls. I'll need every single one of them to survive. This book sounds so freaking good. I am in love with Skye Warren. I am currently reading one of her books right now, Prisoner, and I'm loving it. I love her writing. It's so beautiful. Her writing is just very well done. Love, love, love this author. All right, y'all, we are almost done. We are now down to my last book box, and that is going to be my reveal book box. And I cannot wait to open this because last month the box was so freaking good. And as always, I haven't opened it yet, so it says, caution, contents may be hot. They always come with cute little stickers. And they've got a cute little door knocker. It says, do not disturb, I'm reading romance. I like that. Every month they come with a candle. This one smells good. It is Day at the Spa. That smells good. Oh my goodness, this is a cute pin. Look at that. Little princess pin. Fairy tales are for everyone. That's cute. All right, jumping into the books that I got. The first one is going to be Reckless Rockstar by Victoria Ashley. I've read a book by Victoria Ashley and loved it, so I'm really hoping that I'm going to enjoy this. So if you didn't know, Vi Keelan and Penelope Ward came out with The Cocky Bastard. It is a book, and a whole bunch of authors decided to come out with this Cocky Hero Club, and they created books in the world of this series, and it's all kind of based on the Cocky Bastard book. So I think that's really interesting. But this one is Reckless Rockstar. It says, I was never supposed to want to keep her. She was meant to be borrowed. Mine for 6 days and not a day longer. She doesn't belong to me. She belongs to someone else. My brother. Okay, so taboo book. I'm into this. Holy crap, this next book is huge. Y'all, this next book is like a freaking Bible. Y'all, are you seeing this? Look at how chunky this book is. How big is this? Seriously. 521 pages. It feels bigger than that. Maybe, is it like not... It's a little... No, it's about the... Man, this book is big. Okay, so it is by Cambria Hebert, which is the same thing as the little royalty pin, and it's called Prince. So that's... How cute is that? that goes together. That's cute. Okay, so this one, there's not really a blurb. Listen to the Music in Your Heart by Cambry Hebert. This is going to be a male-male romance book, and I am here for it. It is quite a chunker, though. The next book that I got is Boyfriend Maintenance, which on the opposite end of a chunker, this one is quite itty-bitty. Which, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so Boyfriend Maintenance by Lauren Helms, a fake relationship romance. It says, Emmy, a bad reputation is coming back to haunt me. Now I need a date for my brother's wedding just to keep the vultures at bay. I've noticed Jake around the building and he's the perfect man for the job. The thing is, I don't actually have what I promised in return for his help, but I don't want this to end. Jake, I've seen Emmy and she's out of my league, but that doesn't stop me from taking her up on the offer and upping the ante. I have rules, however. The more time we spend together, the more the lines get blurred. Her lie made her more like me than I ever thought possible. Too bad liars don't do it for me. A little boyfriend maintenance goes a long way. After all, 425 Madison Avenue is the perfect place to fall in love. Each story is completely standalone, but you'll want to read them all. So apparently 425 Madison is the series, and this is just one of the books in it. It sounds cute. I like the names, Emmy and Jake. That's cute. Those are cute names. Okay, next book is going to be A Righteous Man by Jay Crownover. I love Jay Crownover. I've read all of her Marked Men series. So it is all signed by her. This one says, Salinger Dolan. You know his name, you've seen his face, you've spent money on the endless amount of useless crap he endorses. Of course, you've heard the stories, you know the ones. The one that claimed he was hard to work with and totally unprofessional on set. The one where he got caught doing drugs on the set of the most popular family-friendly show in America. The one where he ruined the reputation and career of America's sweetheart. There's more truth to these stories than his fans want to believe, because Salinger is the kind of thoughtless, careless, dangerous Hollywood bad boy the paparazzis and fame-hungry starlets can't get enough of. Eventually, the shine of his flashy lifestyle starts to fade, and Salinger realizes the only thing he's famous for nowadays is his bad behavior and well-documented struggle with addiction. The former golden boy is beyond tarnished, and the only person who can help him get his glow back is the one woman who wants absolutely nothing to do with him, Maren Copeland. You might recall her name. It's possible you vaguely remember her face. You're probably wondering where she went after all. You've heard the stories. The ones where she exposes Salinger Dolan's drug use all those years ago. The one that said she tried to ruin his career because she was envious of his popularity. The one about how she went from being everyone's favorite to a pariah overnight. Maren Copeland is now known as the comeback queen. After years of hard work and purposely avoiding entanglements with problematic heartthrobs like her first co-star, she's on track to revitalize her career and rearrange her priorities after a very messy and very public divorce. For the first time in both her professional and personal lives, she's the one calling all the shots. Unfortunately, the path to get her where she wants to be leads directly to none other than Salinger Dolan. He's the one and the only person she swore she would never work with again. Once upon a time, he cost her everything. He's back to make amends and promises to give her everything she wants if she'll just give him a chance to prove he's grown up. She doesn't trust him. She knows she'd be a fool to believe he's changed. After all, what are the odds that a spoiled, entitled brat like Salinger Dolan would become a righteous man? The next book is Tennessee Truce by Ashley Munoz. I've never heard of this author. Of course, it comes signed. And this one says, Faith. Our story was classic, a typical fairy tale. Two young kids falling in love under an onyx sky, making vows they didn't understand. He was my dream, and I naively thought I was his, until he bartered our love and sold me a lie. Now I'm returning to the life I once knew, but not as the pathetic mess that left 5 years ago. I'm a married woman, wed to the richest man in Nashville, but it seems I wasn't the only one changed during my time away. Hardened by life, Jace Walker's glare drips with heat and derision. He's got war in his eyes and venom in his veins. I thought I would be safe coming back home, but it seems I only ran from my present to be caught in the crosshairs of my past. So this sounds like a love triangle. It sounds like there's possible cheating in this one. I'm a little iffy. I'm a little iffy on that one. Okay, and the last book is Then Came You by Dylan Allen, and signed by Ms. Dylan Allen. This one says, after watching love make fools out of smart women, I vowed that I would never let it steal my focus. So I don't dream, I work. And when I land a high-powered job in London, I'm more than ready for a new beginning, far away from my family and the stain my father's misdeeds put on all of us. When I meet Simon, the gorgeous architect with filthy mouth, set my imaginations and my body aflame. But one night with him is all I'll allow myself, because those smoldering dark eyes are full of secrets, and as hot as we burn, I know that playing with that kind of fire is a fool's errand. Fate, it turns out, has a different plan. When a work project forces us back together, I discover that behind Simon's brooding, secretive facade lies a heart of gold. He breaks down my walls, one sexy, wicked smile at a time. Soon all I do is dream of his touch, his kisses, and of a love strong enough to last forever. But I've got secrets of my own, and when they rear their ugly head, Simon will question everything I've ever told him. Can I find the courage to fight for what's mine, or will it all go up in flames? This sounds really cute. I don't really know what it is other than the fact that it's a love story. It's kind of vague on the premise of the book, but that's not always a bad thing. And the cover is very pretty, like that. So that is it. That is all I got. I'm going to go ahead and stick with 6 books because I really pretty much liked all of those. Hopefully I will continue to like this box as much as I have been liking it the last couple of months. Last month was the best box. I'm still ecstatic at the one book that I got by Melanie Harlow. Just recently read that and gave it 5 stars. Anyway, this is it. I'm rambling at this point. I'm going to go ahead and get off here and go to work. I hope you guys enjoyed this book haul. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We will chat there.